Hello and welcome back to my next video, which is bridges. Before we get started, I wanted to mention two things. That one, I got a new backdrop, so that's kind of cool. It reminded me of space and nebula, so I like it. And I also got a new microphone, so I can produce higher quality audio. And I'm just always trying to adapt to new things and create the best content. And with that said, let's get right into it. So I'm moving you guys so you can see everything a bit better. I have, well, the giant bridge, and I wanted you guys to know the difference between an arch and a bridge. So I have a mini, if I pan the camera down for you guys, I have a mini arch and a mini bridge. The difference between the two is that an arch diverts all the pressure from side to side. Now bridges, they do that too. But the main way they handle stress loads is by simply having so much mass that they do not bend. As an example, you can see right here, right? There's just so much mass and so much friction in between each one of the dominoes, or planks, whatever you want to call them, is that the friction between each one, because there's no glue in this, there's no glue, it's just planks and gravity. So the friction of every single domino you see outweighs the total force of gravity, which is pretty cool. The reason why you don't see many structures that look exactly like this in real life is because it can be kind of costly to build structures like this. So what most people do when they need to build bridges is that they put all their material in the top and bottom, because the main stress load on a bridge is the very top, because that's where it's being squished together, and the very bottom because that's where it's being pulled apart. Compression and tension, right? And modern buildings and structures get around this by putting all their material at the top and bottom, which is why you get things that look like the I-beam, right? Or H, depending on how you look at it. Because you want to put all the material in the top, because you want to put all the material in the top and bottom so that way it doesn't stress, right? So that's how modern buildings get around this, but I want to just do my scale thing, so. And now to go into a little bit of how I build it, if I go back a little further, if I have to keep moving this for you guys, but how I built it is that what I did separately is I built this little brick pattern, right? Let me, sorry. Okay, so I built this pattern, and then I flip it over, and then duplicate that 4 times, because there's 4 sides on the bridge, right? And then what I do is that I put one, sorry, it's kind of hard to do this one-handed. I put one right there again, and what this does is that at the first reason is that is the length of one domino brick, right? So that means that it can perfectly fit on a 1 square unit block, which I really like. And also I can make this as long as I want, because if I want to make it longer, then I simply add more layers, right? And that's the core principle I did. And what I did is I took this, right, and then I put it up here at the very bottom. And then what I did is I kept adding more and more layers until eventually they combined, right? And then the more layers you add, the stronger it gets. So that's the basic design behind it and how I build it. And that also means that there is a second layer behind this one, right? It's just, you can't really see it on camera. The next thing I wanted to mention is that the dimension of these blocks is 10 centimeters by 1 centimeter by 5 centimeters. No, sorry. 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, 10 centimeters, right? So sorry about that, but if 3 planks perfectly fit at the bottom, well, not perfectly, but if 3 planks fit at the bottom, that means that the bottom length, the total length of the bridge that it's covering is 30 centimeters. So that gives you a bit of scale for yourself. And for all my builds, those are the dimensions of bricks. That's kind of cool. And now I wanted to stress test it. What I mean by it is by putting weight at the top and seeing how much it can handle. I have enough to go up to 25 pounds, and let's just get started. So this is my very official box of professional weights, also known as a box of rocks, and it weighs about 3 pounds, and I'm going to put it on and see if it falls. I have not tested this, so I don't actually know if it's going to fall. Wow, that holded perfectly. Okay, wow. So I don't really have more weights, but I do have a bunch of books. So I'm gonna be doing that. Okay, so that weighed about 5 pounds. So this is gonna be 10 pounds with these books and the box. Sorry, let me do that. Yeah, that's 5 pounds. Okay, that's 10 pounds. Oh my goodness. Okay, wow, this is getting kind of. Okay, now I'm gonna put another 10 pounds on top of that. Oh my gosh. You can see it start to buckle a bit on the ends. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm gonna put the final thing. All of this together is 20 pounds. So, oh, okay. Um, I was not expecting this, but you can see all the principles in action, right? You can see um, tension at the top and, sorry, oh my gosh, I keep mixing this up and it's really annoying. It is compression at the top and tension at the bottom, right? You can visibly see that. You can also see it starting to like buckle a bit. So, yeah, that's really cool. One other thing I wanted to add is because all the weight, because there's so much weight in the middle, it's all diverted to these stilts. So these ones are actually, like, you can do that because all the weight is on this middle one and not the outer one. Because do you know how it's buckling, right? If it's buckling, it's getting height on this side, so that side is being, this side's being lifted up. So it's actually do that for all of them, which is kind of scary and cool at the same time. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take out one of them and see if it falls. Okay, wow, that fell. Anyways, um, that was cool. Hope you enjoyed that. See you in the next one.